Good afternoon, everyone. My today's topic is the Robert Burns is a 18th century poet. 18th century poet, the greatest poet of Scotland. He was born in a small town in 1759 and died in 1796. He was died in youngest age, 37. He is famous for writing many poems and songs and is known as the national poet of Scotland. He worked on their father farm when they were growing up and their family were quite poor. He wrote the poetry at the age of 15. Robert Burns is known as the Robin Burns, the favorite son of Scotland and the national poet of Scotland. Burns wrote his first poem when he was a 15-year-old about a girl he was working on the farm. Burns wrote a poem in the old dialect of Scottish called Scots, but some poems are also in English. Burns wrote 100 poems of thought out his lifetime, and many of them would go on to become famous worldwide. Illume Long Shine, perhaps the best known for his work, is said to have been attempted by Burns by an old Scottish folk song. In 1785, Burns wrote the Up to Mouse, which, according to Lynch, was experienced when Burns accidentally destroyed a mouse nest whilst plunging on the field in winter. A Red Rose was published in 1794 when Burns was devoting his time to preserving the traditional song of Scotland. Tom O'Center tells a story of Tom from farmer who get drunk with his friend and act in the throatless way, especially toward his wife. Address to Hangings was written by Burns to celebrate the appreciation of Hangings during Burns Night. Separate its custom to read address to Hangings before cutting the hangs open. Burns Night. Burns Night is annually celebrated in Scotland on or around January in 25. It's celebrating to contribution of Robert Burns in Scotland culture. It's commendable the life of the birds. Robert Burns, who was born on January 25 in 1759. The day also celebrates Burns' contribution to Scotland culture. These are some Robert Burns' famous works. The Plugman's poet. The many reason Burns is so popular today is because of the theme and language of everyday life that he used. His poems were harmonious and he used small subject to express big ideas. This can be seen the poem like to a mouse. He used draw a comparison between the live to mice and men. Burns was a champion of the Scots language at the time when it was not popular in literary circles. Lyrical poet, Burns Weston just known for his poem. He was also a prolific song writer and when often remember song more easily than we do poems. Rabindranath Tagore also Bangla's poet. He was also the wrote song and used the Robert Burns music. He adapted the world of the old Scottish folk song and contributed over 300 songs to the Scott Music Museum. Burns and model day culture. His work has even influenced a 20th century American author. Jane Austen's novel of Mince and Men is named after a line in the poem To a Mouse. Thank you.
Yes, questions?
Okay, so Robert Burns is also known as other name. So what is his pen name?